Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
New developments for you tonight. Bond was set at $10,000 for a woman charged with crimes related to fake adoption proceedings of Native American children. 47-year-old Betty Jo Krenz of Woodworth, North Dakota, had a warrant issued for her arrest in April after having been found to have staged adoptions, taking money and never producing a baby for those wanting to provide foster care. Krenz is currently being held in the Stutsman County Correctional Center, facing charges of theft of property and unauthorized use of personal identifying information. And breaking news tonight, all 911 lines are down for the Red River Regional Dispatch Center. Anyone who needs to get a hold of police or the fire department for emergency needs, you are asked to call the non-emergency line you see on your screen, 701-451-7660. We are getting word that the 911 outage is being felt in the Grand Forks region as well. Crews are working to resolve the issue. Prosecutors say the man involved in an hours-long standoff with law enforcement in Rolette County, North Dakota, is now being charged with murder. A criminal complaint shows investigators believe 49-year-old Ronald Wooten of Rolette shot and killed James Pochent yesterday. Police got a 911 call yesterday morning from a woman who said her husband was armed and making threats. She was able to leave the house with her child and get to safety. When police arrived on scene, they say Wooten was standing outside holding a gun and refused police commands to drop it. Neighbors were evacuated and the standoff continued for several hours until Wooten tried to run toward his vehicle and was arrested. Prosecutors say after the arrest, officials went into the home and found the deceased male inside. You're taking an exclusive look at some dash cam video out of Valley City. It shows the final few free moments of Warren Lindvold's life. The 72-year-old was arrested after officers suspected he was driving under the influence. Attorneys for Lindvold's family say when the officers handcuffed him, shoved him into the police car, and dragged him around the station, they broke his neck and killed him.
He was in pain as a result of a medical condition that he described to the officer. The officer disregarded that and chose instead to employ submissive pain holds to drag Warren around by his arms, which ultimately resulted in his death.
Tonight on Valley News Live at 6, we talked to Valley City's attorney about why there isn't an internal affairs investigation into how Warren Lindvold died. We have new information this evening involving a missing North Dakota woman. FBI spokesman Michael Kolstad has confirmed that a body was found in Lake Sakakawea along with a missing truck. At this point, police still have not confirmed the identification of the body. We have reported that 32-year-old Olivia Lonebear has been missing since last fall. The mother of 5 was last seen October 25th driving a truck that matches the description of the one that was found. Definitely not your typical August weather. Instead, cool and cloudy. Let's check in with Hutch, who's at a backyard barbecue where guests might be bundling up. Hutch?
Yes, Andrea, I got to tell you, it's actually a pretty pleasant evening to be outdoors, not overheating at all. No sunshine, it's cloudy, a light breeze. All in all, things are pretty good. If you have outdoor plans, here's a look at what we're seeing across our satellite and radar. We do have some clouds that are streaming from north to south across the region, and the clearing is coming from the west. So Devil's Lake down towards Cooperstown and not far from Mayville, we're starting to see some clearing there. Still socked in with some clouds, though, here in the FM area for now. A look across the region, and temperatures have certainly changed. 90 degrees yesterday, and today we're a far cry from that. We are in the low 60s, and that's where we'll stay for the next couple of hours. Wind from the northeast at 3 miles per hour, so hold on to your piece of paper so it don't blow away. And it looks like as we go through the next several days, this cool weather is certainly going to vacate the region. We got some heat to talk about in our forecast, but first I want to get to tonight's Cashwise Backyard Barbecue winner out here in South Fargo, right? And it's Mort, and let me pronounce
Sarabosh.
Sarabosh. I got this. And Mr. Sarabosh.
Mort would be fine.
Mort, tell me where you signed up.
Well, we signed up. Actually, my wife signed up on 13th Avenue South on Cashwise.
She's a lucky one, your wife.
Yes, she is. She is the one who's coming in.
Oh, here she comes.
Here comes, yes.
Yeah, we're all lucky here because we're getting barbecue and Cashwise just doing all the work.
I actually did the job and put my name, so that's the way it happened. That's a place she goes. But now I was saying that now because we have 52nd Avenue South here, then she's going to go to Cashwise on 52nd.
Wonderful. Nice to see them expand and get a little closer. Are you guys all hungry?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and I brought
a bunch of guests here, our neighbors and friends. They have joined us.
Well, welcome. I'm glad everybody could come, and I'm glad you all brought your appetite. And I brought mine too. I've been working hard all day, slaving over that forecast. And coming up in a bit, we'll tell you about that warm-up we're expecting, how hot we're going to get. Talk about our next chance of thunder in the forecast as well. But for now, Andrea, we'll toss it back into the studio to you.
Okay, thanks, Sach. A whistleblower whose car was hit by an uninsured van is now seeing some justice. Earlier this week, we reported that Desiree Halverson of Frazee, Minnesota, is facing more than $2,000 in vehicle damages after a van backed into her stationary car. At the time of our story, there was no police report on the incident. However, following our story, we confirmed that Moorhead police have charged the uninsured man with a gross misdemeanor for no proof of insurance and driving after revocation. Stick with Valley News Live for more updates. More than 300 law enforcement agencies took part in a Minnesota speeding enforcement campaign last month from July 6th to the 22nd. Officers issued nearly 15,000 speeding tickets and about 1,600 seatbelt citations in that 2-week stretch. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter, Bailey Hurley, has more on the numbers from the crackdown and the excuses drivers gave police for their speeding. Bailey?
Thanks, Andrea. Of the 300 agencies involved during the speed enforcement campaign, 25 of them reported speeds of 100 miles an hour or more, the highest being clocked at over 120. Officers also recorded some of the excuses given during that 2-week campaign, and they weren't always the best. One person going 99 in a 65 said they were just trying to make it to Taco Bell before it closed. Another, who is going faster than 120, said he recently bought his motorcycle and wanted to go fast. The last person's excuse in the report, who was going 20 over the limit, admitted that they were going nowhere near the speed limit, telling police, "You got me." Andrea?
Now, at least they're honest. Thanks, Bailey. The cost of speeding in Minnesota will typically cost a driver more than $110 for going 10 miles over the limit, but those fines double if you're traveling 20 miles an hour or more over the limit. There could be some workplace changes ahead for some corrections officers following the recent death of a Minnesota prison guard. Joseph Gaume died of blunt force injuries after an inmate allegedly attacked him at the state prison in Stillwater. AFSCME Council 5 says it will call for staffing and inmate discipline changes this afternoon. Authorities say 42-year-old inmate Edward Mohammed Johnson is suspected of attacking Gaume with a weapon. Gaume was 45 years old. Johnson has been serving time on a nearly 29-year murder sentence from 2002. Prosecutors have not yet charged him. Minnesota residents with autism or obstructive sleep apnea can now qualify for the state's medical marijuana program. Minnesota lawmakers passed one of the nation's most restrictive medical marijuana laws in 2014, banning the plant form and restricting its use to patients with a handful of serious conditions. Then in 2016, patients with intractable pain were added to the fold. And then last summer, the state allowed residents suffering from PTSD to buy the medication. Advocacy groups are seeking to add even more conditions to the program, including nausea, dementia, and anxiety disorders. Sioux Pass Ranch in Detroit Lakes is once again opening its grounds to welcome thousands of fans to WeFest. Early campers have been lining up since Monday for the Country Music Festival. Those with standard general admission passes will be filing in tomorrow. The main stage opens Thursday night for the first headliner, Carrie Underwood. Florida Georgia Line is the headliner on Friday, with Jason Aldean wrapping up the festival on Saturday. 14 other artists are also performing this year.